Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything amazing, spectacular Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero, like defender of the fatherland, the only sanctioned source of comedy to entertainment, all theatre glorious, wonderful, near magical 1v1 here on Bayeux. In the west, it is Tonkatsu fighting for the British Army, the Commonwealth. Here with the Guards Armoured Division, tasked to destroy them, is Elpern fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 107th Panzer Brigade, here with Jaeger Infantry featuring ambush training, Jaeger Light Infantry upgrades, Jaeger Command Squads, Light Artillery Barrages, and the Stuka Anti-Tank Strafe versus Vanguard, Mobile Assault, and Royal Engineers. We got a double party MD42 start here with no infantry company. Could indicate a tier 2 rush here from Elpern. In the west, it is Tonkatsu with a triple section start. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters. Without them and their invaluable support, the Propagandacast would not be able to keep doing what it does. So big thanks to all of those and their continued assistance, for the glory is worth it. Other people can join the ranks by Patreon. They can donate via PayPal. Links in the description, and if you're in the market for pre-ordering companies, you can do so via the link in the comments. Use the code STUK3G as it's written there, and I get a cut of the sales. That's a great way to both get the game and support me. And also, comment, like, share, subscribe. So, Pioneer heading northwards here. Their quad here, both sides are so far just focusing on grabbing territory here. Second MD42 definitely has the hallmarks of a tier 2 rush here from Elpern. So far, though, no encounters with the English or the British. Anything like that. In the south here, Tonkatsu steadily advancing up here. Sandbags going down by a lot of core points. First engagement up north here, Pioneers versus the section here. Second MD42 team there moving out here for Elpern. Setting up here in the south. Kind of risky there in some degree, but, you know, can also work out. That said, he's going to need to probably hold up a machine gun here soon to defend the northern points against any potential push by Tonkatsu, risk losing his own fuel. Tech there happening for Elpern here. That is a tier 2 rush, which will mean he will be relying heavily on Panzer Grenadiers and probably the Jaeger Command Squad here. Not your common build order for the Wehrmacht. It used to be somewhat popular with the tier 2 rush, but they kind of faded off again. But Elpern as of late seems to have been working a lot with it, which is actually fairly interesting. Up north, the section of Grand Northern Victory Point machine gun here defending the northern points here. In the center, Elpern and the 107th Panzer Brigade is forced to retreat, sectioning for the southern munitions point here. Tech almost done there for Elpern and for Deutschland. Fourth section out there for Tonkatsu. Of course, increasing the overall infantry complement quite significantly. So that's going to obviously add some pressure to Elpern against him and his Pioneers machine guns, and to get out enough infantry versus Tonkatsu's forces. Machine gun moving in, they're going to flank the section there. Pioneers holding up here by the car front. Machine gun defending against the northern approach here. There goes second machine gun arriving here, and suddenly Tonkatsu's assault here towards the northern point are running a bit out of steam here against Elpern and his forces up north here. Section going, there we go. Almost bypassed the MD42 there, but narrowly spotted and dealt with. Panzer Grenadier squad there. Halfway done here for Elpern. Machine that's about to get flanked here by Tonkatsu, caught out in the open as well there. It's not looking great for the MD42. They will have to retreat section. They continue to bypass as well there. Looking really rough here for Elpern and for the fatherland here until they get out those Panzer Grenadiers. And even then, versus 4 sections, if they're concentrated, it's still going to be pretty tough going here for Elpern. Section repositioning aggressively. Section running back here in front of the MD42. Going to run in behind cover and Magian, but will they be fast enough here versus the MD42? Found it reloaded a bit there, and they get right beyond the arc of fire there. But we got the troops reinforcing him. We got the Panzer Grenadier out there. Tonkatsu falling a bit back here to, of course, avoid their effective range. As the Panzer can definitely rip apart sections if they are allowed to. Defending the fuel pond there narrowly. So this is overall a strong start here for Tonkatsu. We can sort of see some of the risks in going for the tier 2 rush involved for the Wehrmacht, and why you don't see them that often, because again, it does require, you kind of have a slightly passive opponent, or at least you get some really good machine gun setups and, break apart their forces. But Elpern wasn't quite that lucky, wasn't able to really wreck Tonkatsu, nor was Tonkatsu content with just, sitting back and, having a nice cup of tea. So that's going to make things tough here for Elpern. We do like to make a nice comp here. Probably a 2-2, though. A flame for half-tech could also be an interesting option here versus Tonkatsu and the British. Sections pressed, routed. Ambush camouflage there for the Panzer Grenadier. Thumbs up. So there you go. Elpern has finally routed Tonkatsu. Pushed him back for the glory of Deutschland. We got armor cars being prepared for Tonkatsu plus sappers. Meanwhile, though, Elpern, you can see that he's just advancing as swiftly as his men's legs can carry them. Unity reinforcing, 2-2 there on the way. AC on the way for Chiefs and Cutter. That require either a really lucky Telemine, Panzerschrecks, or Packs. Well, it could also go for a lot of armored cars. But most players typically tend to not bother with that. We got the Panzerschreck with a little ambush here on the point here. Note he's room to hold fire. That way he can bait in the opponent into a more effective range and then order them to attack the unit. Of course, typically one of you is actually use attack move. That way, if you misclick, they don't actually just, walk away there. Just sort of stand about there. You might ask, why not just order them to fire free? Thing is, if you do that, for some reason, the ambush bonus doesn't trigger if you order them to hold fire. It's a bit of a weird thing there. But anyways, machine quad in the south routed. Armored comms done here for Chiefs and Cutter and the British Empire. Up northeast, Sap screaming about there for the British. Telemine there, of course, got mines from here though for Chiefs and Cutter, obviously expecting Telemines as they're obviously one of the big threats there to the AC Mark III armored car. Armored car there in the south, the 2-2 ripping through Chiefs and Cutter's unfortunate section. There goes section up to the Panther. They pop just again into fire free instead of like order them to attack, at which point again the ambush camouflage bonus just doesn't trigger, unfortunately. Jaeger command squad out here for Elpern. Sappers though also sent packing, so theoretically there's a chance the armored car could be dragged and hit the Telemine then, which would again be very beneficial for Elpern as Chiefs and Cutter and could represent a significant move. You can see there, I think Elpern's going to try and bait it into it. Of course, Trick's ensuring he doesn't haul it into the mine or get it to set off the mine accidentally, but I definitely understand what Elpern is trying to do here. It's definitely tricky though. Pioneer sending out here. Gear command squad does put Elpern at 2 squads. He would generally prefer a third one here. And again, that's going to be a bit more expensive infantry. On the other hand, it's going to be fairly worthwhile infantry in my opinion. But there you go. Again, he's sort of trying to set up the armored cars who sort of pursues the 2-2 into the Telemine. But so far, the Chiefs and Cutter is not doing that. Probably not expecting a Telemine. Perhaps he is, but either way though. More Telemines in the south here from Elpern. Thumbs up. But this time, the armored cars going to ruin it. And of course, it's also going to signal to Chiefs and Cutter. There are definitely mines worth keeping an eye out for. And there we go, spotted one of them. In fact, the only one. There we go, Panzer's about to engage again. Spotted here, so yeah, now definitely is no ambush bonus anyways. Get Baldiladen, ground section. Jaeger command across the sappers there. So, I imagine Elpern's response now, once the Telemine plan has been clearly just thwarted here, rudely by the British out of all things, is to probably go for Pack 4 to try and deal with the armoured car. I mean, he could commit to more armoured cars of his own, but it's typically one of those much more risky options, in particular on a map like Bayeux, where the already questionable vehicle pathing can really betray with your 2-2. So I don't blame Elpern for just wanting to stick to 1-2 here and just maybe go for Pack 40. There's also option B, which we're going for a Panzer section as Panzer Grenadiers, but that would mean less actual combat infantry, which is, in Elpern's current state of affairs, not great either. So I imagine he's going to go for Pack 40. There you go, the Panzer Economic 40. He does have a bulletin to increase the production speed, so that's very handy-dandy here. Up northeast, Saps advancing northern field point, swiftly passing through, well, exposed German terrain there, where there's absolutely nothing. Saps about to wipe the Pioneers. Pack 40 right around the corner here for Elpern. He's once more on the back foot here versus Chiefs and Cutter. The failure to destroy the armoured car has definitely put Elpern in a precarious position. Combined with just Chiefs and Cutter's overall very aggressive British approach. So, armour car being fixed up, troops reinforcing, all that jazz. Pack 40 setting out there. Punch goes to the section. At long range, the section is definitely favoured here as the Panzer Grenadiers. Still, the threat of Jaeger command up north does force Chiefs and Cutter to retreat there. We got 300 numbers for 181. Bunker up there for Elpern and for Deutschland. North the armoured covers the Panzer Grenadier. Pack 40 that gets a rather rubbish shot off there as it almost hits, but actually lands right in front of the armoured car. That's definitely got to be a feels annoying moment there for Elpern. 6-pounder gun for Chiefs and Cutter, obviously concerned about enemy German armour, and of course wants to get ahead of the curve in that sense. So very sensible there. Perhaps not necessary. You could arguably get away with just, say, going for something more infantry-oriented, like a Vickers, or an assault officer, but, you know, there's clearly no rush either. No sign of tech yet here for Elpern. Maybe he's planning more infantry first. Wouldn't be a half bad idea. Technically about the armoured car. Trying to further fortify the southern half of the map here against any German approaches. Not a bad idea at all. There you go, 6-pounder gun out here for Tonkatsu and the British. They're almost good to go. Well, up north we got the section of the command squad here. Again, not having a lot of luck with these ambushes for Elpern. Not having a lot of luck. Great for Tonkatsu, but certainly feels, I imagine, a bit frustrating for Elpern. You can't quite trigger those bonuses. As they do add a sensible amount of DPS there. Section sampling 40 Jaeger command squad. Oh, actually did manage an R1 here, but ultimately we'll have to retreat. There's just too many British forces charging in and just one Jaeger command squad with insufficient support to back them up against that many British troops. So 6-pounder gunning for some reason was run to the info 2 and the Panzer Grenadiers flanking around here. Probably should have already done, would have been to actually lay down some S-bombs for the Pioneers and then let some other troops come in to deal with that, but oh well. Could he get a white pin, Tonkatsu? Possible? But seems a bit unlikely. Unlikely doesn't mean impossible. Attack 4 Lancer in the AEC Mark III. South as they continue the pursuit of the harassment here behind Elpern's lines, causing further frustration and aggravation. More Pentacles on the way there. He could have teched up, but field-wise he wouldn't be able to get anything out of it anyways. So, adding some more assault infantry now versus Tonkatsu very likely has much better merit here. And there you go, Garibaldi landing on the section. Pushing out into the open and forcing retreat as well. Armoured car charging around the Pack 40 here. Good shot, could take it out here. With a good Panther shot or pack shot there through the smoke maybe. Nope. Lucky there for Tonkatsu. Oh, never mind, he didn't do it! Wow, that was impressive. Good shooting there by Elpern. Thumbs up. That definitely relieves some pressure from there from Tonkatsu, of course, is rushing ahead for the company command post. Always something the British are quite capable of here. It's just, you know, the fact that they have very few tiers and they are also fairly cheap and easy to set up.
We're losing a capture point.
So Elpern will need to take up. They'll bring in one to tank guns. Panzer going to do their business in the center. Swiftly advancing, laying down barbed wire. Elpern knows speed and time is of the essence here, so he has to advance swiftly here. Needs to gain as much territory and deny Tonkatsu as much territory, but also just, you know, gain some more favorable positions versus his opponent. South push here. More ambush camouflage. Could maybe consider rifle grenade here. Maybe. Taking out Norfolks. We got Telemines here from Elpern. Machining vessel up to advance. Could have wiped that off maybe first. We'll need to retreat that machine gun here. That is not a great position to be in versus any like unit heavy company, not the Brits. That's exactly managed to suppress them. Sort of, but even then, like, there's still one section not getting suppressed for that. That costs Elpern his machine gun. Definitely punch him there in the end. Garibaldi landing the bunched up troops. Does force retreat, which does sort of corrupt the machine gun, but at this point, the problem for Elpern, he doesn't have like any units he can grab the machine gun with without sacrificing in the process. Though, of course, it may still be worth it to just sacrifice the Pioneers here as a squad just to get it. Panzer for the southern field point there. Got probes in south there from Elpern. No, doesn't do that. Instead, we got the Panzer sitting up for a little ambush. He might be trying to use the machine gun here as bait. And, you know, get them close and hit with a bomb grenade. But Tonkatsu has entirely different plans. He's just going to destroy it. Or maybe not. Maybe not. There you go. And the bomb grenade nearly go off. Ah, that's some rubbish like there for Elpern. His little trap, Dave. It was a trap. I have to imagine it was, because otherwise that was definitely very, very inadvisable. But the trap there then did not go off. That's a great steal there for Tonkatsu. An absolute slap across the field for Elpern. Need to retreat those Panzer guns there before they get wiped out. We do have the tech almost done. Meanwhile, Tonkatsu can soon go for Cromwell or a Centaur. Now, knowing this is Tonkatsu, he does have a thing for Comet tanks, because, you know, they're quite good, unlike the Panther. He may, in fact, plan to go straight for the Comet, which definitely could give Elpern more time to stabilize, maybe turn the game more in his favor, at least until the Comet hits. So we'll have to see, but he can build the Support Core, and there we go, does do so. Going here for T4 right now for Elpern would definitely be not a good idea. Simply too much risk here, considering again, like, Chieftain has been dominating the fight. We need something now that can help turn the tide against the British forces. So far, though, no tanks here for Tonkatsu, so it does look like he's up to his specific plan of a comet. Of course, any moment now, he could easily prove me wrong. Elpern, meanwhile, could soon go for a Panther 4, the Panzerkampfwagen 4. So we've got the section charging the Pioneers. He's happening north as there go Sturmgeschütz 3 ASVG. I imagine called in because Elpern is very much aware that he's likely going to be the receiving end of some armor being rushed out here by Tonkatsu, in which case having a Stug 3G is obviously going to be a good choice here. Of course, if he's going to go for the Comet, that might take a bit of a while to go out, in which case, arguably, maybe a Panther 4 would have been an initial good choice. But again, there's definitely a sense to having a Stug out here, in which case I would strongly recommend getting out 2 Stugs and upgrading the machine guns, at which point you got a sort of half-decent weapons force there. That can also even pressure infantry a bit. Not a lot, but, you know, not terribly. And of course, be ready for, like, any British armor. North here, he's basically playing very cautious with his Pentacle. He's obviously hoping to bait Tonkatsu's forces into ambushes, get the kills easily and favorably, and then push back against the opponent. But of course, it does require he actually manages the engage. There you go, ambush going off, and you can see there, incredible accuracy bonus combined with their T2 there, absolutely rips the sappers apart in a matter of seconds. So this is the power of ambush camouflage when executed right, in particular in units like the Pentacle Grenadiers, because units with really high DPS, like Pentacle Grenadiers, really benefit from these ambush, bonuses. That was very powerful there for Elpern, and thumbs up there. That was definitely the sort of things Elpern had been hoping to do much soon into the match, but, just couldn't quite get off here versus Tonkatsu. And of course, had he been able to get off those ambushes much sooner, the match would also look much better now for Elpern at this point. But yeah, Tonkatsu, we're still not seeing anything. We've got weapon racks on the way. This is looking highly like a comet stall for Tonkatsu. No commander pick though. Weapon racks unlocked, so that'll be a very large load of Bren guns. Still no commander. Though I'd not be surprised to end up seeing something like Vanguard operations for the strafing support, as that is a very good ability. Still called in here by the section on the machine gun and the Jaeger command squad. And we got T4 almost on there. Got Molten Plates on that for Tonkatsu. Trenches as well, digging in hard.
We're losing a capture point.
Against the Molten Plates course away. No, that's too great, but instead Elpern in fact has been moved straight for tier 4. Definitely risky. Molten Plates no stopped. Good work there by Elpern until it called in him. Almost got the MU42 as well there, but Tonkatsu is able to hold it safely away from the German army's prying artillery-based eyes. Not much going. He's flooding a lot of resources. I mean, again, I imagine it's a comet that could also surprise us with a crocodile, maybe? Stug remaining reserve. Go. Yup, hammer attacks in there for Tonkatsu. Commander, though. The Elpern's got better map control in this part. Again, it's just Tonkatsu stalling for the big tanks. Does give Elpern more room here. That said, if they slipped out a bit there, Jaeger command got close to being wiped out here by the section of the Bren guns. Panzer there being forced out to the open to do some damage. A lot of Bren sections there. Absolutely ripping through here. Elpern's unfortunate Panzer Grenadier. So we'll have to see what it goes for there. Panzerwerfer, Panther, Sturmpanzer. But for Tonkatsu, I'd strongly expect here a Comet tank in a few moments. Very close to it anyways. A few seconds for, and he's going to have the fuel for that. But now all the 4 sections are going to equip with Bren guns. That is a significant boost to them in terms of firepower. MD42 there, easily pushing back the Pioneers there. So there you go. Tonkatsu can call on the Comet. Of course, could be planning a crocodile here. Panzer the ambush in the section out in the open. They this time, though, are a bit safer this time around. Slightly less close distance compared to the sappers that got wiped. But still, you do take a fair amount of damage. Are forced to retreat in the end. Does look like either Sturmpanzer here or a Panther possibly for Elpern. Chieftain enough has not gone for the Comet, so it's starting to look more and more like a crocodile here from Chieftain versus Elpern.
Give us orders.
258 versus 358. 9 spotted. Here come out from the shot to bits. There goes Sturmpanzer Elpern. Barbed wire there. Panzer going to be sneaking up. T-33 is only for the Panzers now. Interesting choice there by Elpern. Guess it's the arrival of a lot of Bren section that's causing Elpern to reconsider his current approach. Now we do get the comment for Chieftain Katsu after all. Still no commander though. Still no commander. Section advancing here. Pack for Stug firing away there. Still no pin machine on the Sturmgeschütz 3 als Film G. Southern machine holding up some of the British. Actually clearing up one of the anti-tankers. This is pretty great. You could actually try and charge him with the Stuka destroy it. There goes smoke called in here by Chieftain Katsu covered up here before Elpern could possibly rush in to destroy it. I do think he could have ate the attempt there. Going to tank cleared out again, but Elpern's infantry pays a pretty high price for it. Now sending in the Stuki. Shoots, misses. Great fortune there for Chieftain Katsu far up north here. Panzer pushing back the sappers. 6-pounder gun, half elf. Almost had it there, but Chieftain Katsu is narrowly to get a back gun. Artillery in on the machine gun and the anti-tank gun backing up the first anti-tank gun, but needs to wait to clear out the. Ooh, well, the Sturmpanzer is obviously going to do the trick. But now the Comet has arrived here for Chieftain Katsu. 6-pounder gun cleared out. Needs to move up to the next one. Armored car's about to get knocked out. Oh, shoots but misses. Need to get the pack for support as well versus the Comet. Because the Sturmpanzers, they're not going to have much of an impact there. 6-pounder gun wiped out. Could use the 2-2 to wreck the 6-pounder gun, allowing the Stug to focus on it. But yeah, he needs to pack in there and to get upon. He's immediately working on the Stug. And also keep a bit better distance. Go double miss on the Comet. He could also try and grab the anti-tank and him turn against the Chieftain Katsu. Sturmpanzer rushing up, but there's still the 6-pounder gun there. Okay, he needs to like make up his mind quickly to destroy it, or does he use it against Chieftain Katsu? But he definitely should not hesitate on this. Also, he probably should be pulled back his armor. Yeah, at this point he should have just destroyed it. Now we can see there. Okay, baby's going to get destroyed anyways. Also pull back his armor here as Chieftain Katsu launches himself ahead for the British Empire. Still, Elpern's got fairly decent map control, but there's definitely a lot of power here in Chieftain Katsu's forces that could quickly cut the way for Elpern's Panzer army here. Prioritizing the Stug definitely makes the most sense. It has a, well, less health, so it can be done fast, but also crucially, it's more effective against the Comet than the Sturmpanzer, truth be told. Stug Panzers, though. Machine gun wiped out. That's another blow to Elpern. Again, these Bren sections are quite monstrously effective here versus Elpern's forces. Machine gun recruited as well by Chieftain Katsu. That's the second Bren gun or machine gun there falls in the hands of the British Empire. Sending seas for the command squad. Fixing up the Stug 3G. Another Stug here for Elpern. Thumbs up. Also quite necessary, I think, because of the Comet. Elpern is definitely feeling the heat here from Chieftain Katsu, who still hasn't gone for a commander. Suppose he could end up picking something like Vanguard for the vehicle crew repairs, or mobile assault for that matter. In fact, all of his commanders have that particular ability in common. They all have vehicle crew repairs, so I think he's got a Comet that could definitely do those repairs fast. I'm surprised he hasn't made a pick there. Stug rushing ahead here. Still could do with a payload machine and gewehr there to help deal with any infantry. Later models of the Stug 3G would be equipped with the Rundumsfeuer all-around fire machine gun there, similar to see on the Hetzer. That's a fun fact there. Trenches up. The additional fun fact about Stugs machine guns is actually not uncommon for the later model Stugs to actually add a actual machine gun as well. Try and dig in again though. Elpern is quick to slap that down. Trench destroyed. Still no commander pick here for Tonkatsu and the guards armored. Need to treat that Panzer squad before it gets ripped apart with the Comet. Stugs being hauled in, could load up the heat shell, try and inflict some extra damage here to the Comet.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Shot bounced. Trench dug in anyways. Got northern point, see Trench being about here by the Stug. 236, 249, much closer 9 times victory points between the two. You can see that Tonkatsu will dig in. He's got another anti-tank ready once more. Storm punching a direct double volley there from Tonkatsu, 6-pounder guns. Yeah, command corps. Oh, actually, that's the Panzer gun is in there. And in the end, though, Elpern is forced to withdraw here as he just cannot really match this force, nor does he have really the ability to deploy smoke efficiently to at least negate parts of it. So, not great here for Elpern. Meanwhile, up north, Tonkatsu goes straight for the fuel point for the great juicy bit there. Comet racing southward straight here at the Stug. Stug misses. Panzer there got the ambush ruined. Forced to retreat as well. Comet finally takes a penetrating hit from the Stug. Small win there for Elpern. He's definitely in a very awkward spot here. And Tonkatsu just hasn't picked the command at all, it appears. A bit unfortunate. Ground silent point here. Stug heading northwards. Machining giving on the way for Elpern to replace the one lost. Tonkatsu really wants to not say, you know, more assault infantry, honestly, to assist. Maybe something else. I think the machine gun is not going to be necessarily helpful, like reducing Tonkatsu's positions to rubble and dust. And he's not just digging in further and further. And again, the way you can do this, like, because again, like the way the map is assigned, you can sort of like create these situations there. Plus, it's very difficult, like, for Elpern to really outmaneuver, because if he even like does get it, like Tonkatsu could just retreat easily into his base. It's actually one of the reasons I'm not a huge fan of this map. I don't quite like the way its layout is. Anyways, another Comet there for Tonkatsu. Stugs are doing heavy damage to the Comet. Almost got it, in fact. Quite close. Also assisted by the Pack 40, obviously, which probably did a good deal of damage as well. No heat shells to target weak point there. Missed opportunity perhaps here by Elpern. Could also try pursuing with the Stugs just to finish it off here. I think that was definitely a bigger mistake there by Elpern. Should have tried to pursue the Stugs, because that's one of the reasons I recommend double Stugs. They have a very good ability like to hunt down retreating armor and finish it off here. Unless, of course, they get stuck up on some kind of like territorial point and the pathing messes up, obviously. But assuming that doesn't happen, they typically tend to be one of your better bets as the Germans just quickly finish off allied armor, in my opinion, which is why I do like the double Stug combo. You can see that he's sort of trying to swing northwards. The problem is Elpern's kind of doing so slow that Tonkatsu can just swing everything northwards to meet it easily. Second Comet out here. Breaking trenches, Storm punching straight hit into the Comet and the 6-pounder guns. Perhaps planning some artillery call-ins. Yes, indeed, but it's going to cost them the Storm Panzer. Tried to basically use it like as an artillery observer. Technically isn't entirely a bad idea. In fact, I think during some of the fighting on the Eastern Front around Sevastopol, they actually used some Stugs like that in the early stage of the war. Basically as artillery observer elements. Fun fact. Anyways, Stug bombarding, and certainly wasn't also uncommon for the German army. Any other armies just have artillery observer tanks. Anyways, Comet rushing forwards here. Not looking great here for Elpern. Not looking great at all. Comet racing in here. Stug in trouble. Stug's in big trouble. Also 6-pounder guns flanking there. And at this point, Elpern is just collapsing here. GG, game over. A swinging win here for Tonkatsu. Fierce fight here, back and forth. With an interesting strategy, but again, we can sort of sense some of the weakness. Those also just some bad luck with those early ambushes for Elpern. Again, had they worked out, he probably would have been a better spot because, as you noticed, those Panzergunners, when they do get the ambush camouflage bonus over the right range, can really rip apart infantry. That said, I also think there was some issues there with Elpern's strategy. Again, I think the heavy Panzer Corps move was less great. The Sturmpanzer really didn't do much for him anyways. Could have gone for Panther 4s, more Stuks earlier, and I also feel like another Panther Grenadier squad, even like tech for like mortars would have been very handy here for Elpern versus Tonkatsu. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell a friend, tell a family, but don't share enemies. This is Imperial Cheers. See you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.